Today is a good day because I am rolling in a 2016 Porsche 911 GT3 RS. This is the big one, the big daddy, the most special, most hardcore, fastest GT car of the motorsports range between the GT4, GT3, and of course this car, the GT3 RS. And it's actually very familiar to those of you who've driven 911 GT3 or even the GT4. The one nice pleasant surprise that I'm looking out the back and my visibility is improved compared to the regular GT3 and GT4 because the wing is now taller, it's higher, and I've got even more visibility out the rear glass. It actually clears the rear glasses out of my line of sight. So that's a pleasant surprise. But the ride is very familiar. The steering is very familiar. It's actually every bit as civilized as a normal GT3 or even a GT4. I'm very comfortable bumbling along in the lower gears. PDKS transmission, of course, you can't get a manual. It's a 4-liter, up by 200cc from a regular GT3. Seems to be the magic number, isn't it, for naturally aspirated Porsches like the last gen. GT3 RS 4.0 was a 4-liter. This is a 4-liter, of course. Makes 500 horsepower, 25 more than a regular GT3. May not seem like a whole lot, but it is faster to 60. 2.9 seconds versus 3.3. It is 22 pounds lighter than a regular GT3. It's got carbon fiber front hood, it's got carbon fiber front fenders, it's got carbon fiber rear deck lid. Of course, it's got a magnesium roof, which is quite special. It's got a double bubble roof. So that's where the weight savings come from, in spite of the fact that it is a wider body. It's got a bigger butt than a regular GT3. And of course, in Porsche land, the more money you spend, the bigger the behind, more curvaceous, more of a booty. Now, what am I doing with this car? Well, this car is not just any GT3 RS. It's got the Schroth harnesses installed by the owner. It's also got GMG roll cage, which adds to that authentic race car experience. I can hear the harness clamps clanking around back there just like you would in an actual race car. But what makes this car really special is that, if you haven't noticed, it's decked out in this full race livery for an organization called Faith, Hope, Love. They are raising awareness and money for the St. Paul's Foundation, for the St. Paul Hospital. And it's started by 3 very nice people. Dr. Manoj Raval, who is a surgeon, a colorectal cancer surgeon at St. Paul's, and his patient, Darren Pedersen. They're both massive car guys. Darren drives a 997 Carrera. Manoj drives this car I'm driving right now, the GT3 RS. And what he's looking to do, what these 2 guys, along with Leanne Chan, Darren's partner, they're trying to raise money and awareness. And they're doing this by entering their cars into the Diamond Rally this year, which is happening May 14th. So mark that on your calendars. May 14th is when the Diamond Rally is happening. I'm going to be there as well in my own driveopolis GT4. I'll be there with my own car and my own entry. I'm supported by Thinkware Systems. So you'll see me there. So if you want to get behind this charity, Faith, Hope, Love, and show your support as car enthusiasts and good people for a good cause, come to the Diamond Rally on May 14th. Check this car out. Check this GT3 RS out. It will be there, decked out. You can listen to it. You should hear it. Startup revs. Oh, very special car. I'll be there. Come chat with me. And you'll be given an opportunity to purchase a Faith, Hope, Love decal in support of this organization. Or you can also donate via a web link. I'm going to make that web link available to you on the comment section or the description of this video that you'll see on YouTube. So you can go on the link, donate some money to the cause. And this is a great charity because there is no overhead. All of the money that you send, all of the money that you donate is going to go towards colorectal cancer care at St. Paul's, through the St. Paul's Foundation. So it's a really good cause, and that's why I'm behind it. I'm going to purchase the deco and make a donation myself, put it on my GT4. But what we also here today is talk about the RS. As I said, 500 horsepower versus 475. It's a 4.0. It's got the carbon fiber bits. We lost 22 pounds over a regular GT3. It's got the wider body. And rolling stock. It's got rather than 20-inch all-round in regular GT3, you've got 20-inch up front, 21-inch wheels in the back for a staggered setup. Very, very aggressive. Don't see that too often. It's also got wider rubber, both front and rear, which should have better grip. Now, aiding that grip is also some much more improved aerodynamics. It's got, you see the cutouts in the front fenders that puts in downforce in the front and aids in cooling. It's got, of course, a massive rear wing in the rear. It's got the ducts for the cooling. All this provides some astounding downforce figures at speed. So some pretty good improvements compared to the regular GT3. Of course, you want this because it's just more special, it looks more special, it's less available, and it's so unavailable now to the point where used cars are commanding some really serious markup, something like 50% for lightly used cars. That's kind of a problem, really. I mean, I'll give my 2 cents about this. I mean, Porsches are meant to be bought and driven, but the limited availability on these cars is making owners more hesitant to drive them, and a lot of owners are just flipping them, which is a real shame. People should be buying these to drive and enjoy, I say, every day on the road and on the track. These are cars you can drive every day. There's a school of thought that I hear quite frequently about how GT3 and GT3 RS, GT4 should not be purchased by people if they don't plan to track them. That's not true. Of course, you should track them. I track my GT4. But you don't have to track them to enjoy them. The specialness, the atmosphere, the sense of occasion, they're reason enough to own them. And of course, now in this generation, compared to the previous 997s, these cars have become more civilized. The ride is very supple and compliant, and this is the hardest of the hardcore. This is an RS. But I could live with this every day. I've been driving through the city in traffic, bumping along, going over speed bumps. I've got the lift kit I can turn on and off. I've got the sport exhaust fired up. And I don't find this to be a tinny place to be. If you've been in a real race car, right, or even a Lotus Elise or Exige, especially an Exige, you will know what harsh is. You know what it feels like to be in a tin can. This is not a tin can. This is a very civilized place to be. I mean, come on, for Christ's sakes, we've got full leather in here. It's very, very comfortable. And these sport buckets I'm very familiar with, of course. I've got them optioned out in my own GT4. On the GT3 RS, they are standard fare, which is good. I think these are the best seats of any production car in the world. I've sat in quite a few of them, and these are so comfortable and so supportive. I'll take you to some corners later, but one of the great benefits of buckets is that it lets you relax your arms and legs for a much more focused, much more relaxed driving position. You're not spending so much muscle work bracing yourself with a dead pedal and bracing yourself against the car to not get thrown around. So your arms and legs are free to feel more relaxed in the car. Finally, we're getting on to a little bit of highway while we head towards the good stuff. And we're starting to pick up a little bit of speed in the GT3 RS and letting this engine unwind just a tad. I finally got into a little bit of twisty road here, so let me walk you through a bit of the RS driving experience. Well, coming out of my own GT4 and into this car, I gotta admit the steering is a little bit different. Didn't expect that, considering that Porsche has made a big deal about how the GT4 took the front axle, front suspension, steering and calibration from the GT3, and the RS is of course very similar. And I didn't really expect that they would be so different, but as soon as I drove my own GT4, I had a suspicion that it was. And now that I'm coming back into GT3, that's definitely the case here. GT3 steering is a shade lighter and actually has a shade more feedback. It's good. The pitter-pattery light front end of the 911 is still very much present. And you feel that all through the fingertips. You drive this car much more through your fingertips than anything else. It's very light steering, it's very delicate, and you get a lot of feel. A lot of information about the contact patches. You still get a lot of that in the GT4, just not quite as much as here, just a shade less. Finally able to open up the engine just a tad. Very firm damping as you'd expect. And the 911 driving position is quite different from the Cayman. You're more cocooned in the GT4. This is more upright, it's more open. Classic 911 feel. Going to these twisties here, the car is finally starting to come alive, finally starting to come unhinged. Oh, I love the sound of this engine. It makes such a glorious noise. Alright, here we are coming into the first corner in fifth gear. Gonna drop down a couple gears, load the front end with the brakes just a little bit, ease off. something a little bit different from the audio mix this time. I hope the exhaust sounds are coming through nicely. All right, somewhat clear corner here. Let's open up just a little bit. And that 911 experience is so transparent here. You got this heavy lump in the rear end. The front end is very, very pointy. It's very sharp. It's very light. Very, very responsive. And just massive traction out of the rear coming out of the corner. The car is always jiggling slightly. It's always very, very alive. Somewhat less stable feeling from the GT4. There's less movement in the chassis in the GT4. It's more exciting driving experience, but also a little bit more intimidating. Okay, entering this other corner, the sweepers here. The decibel level was just gone through the roof. Here we go, nice left-hand corner here. Off the throttle, drop a couple gears, load in the front end. Beautiful feel through the steering, is jiggling around a little bit like a 911 does. Oh, that acceleration experience is just phenomenal. This is something that you only get in the GT3. Really, oh my goodness. And in the RS, it just takes everything up a notch. The RS is a monster. This car is a beast. My goodness, I have no words. I have no words for what I just experienced there. Coming out of the corner, massive traction. Rear end does not get unsettled one bit. And it's just this most effortless, this revvy acceleration out of the corner. A very tight right we've got here. Shifts are just brutal. All right, back it off a little bit. Just doing the best I can to help you experience this GT3 without doing anything dangerous. This car belongs on a track. It is very much enjoyable on the street, but if you really want to experience it, it's gotta be on a circuit. Wow, wow, wow. This thing is sweet. This thing is sweet. You know, I have mixed feelings about the PDK. You know from my videos that I am a hardcore manual guy. Three pedal, rah, 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 all the way. But there's something about this drivetrain that makes the PDK very appropriate. It revs fast, the gearing is super short. It makes just such a glorious noise on those upshifts. It's so seamless, no interruption of power at all. It's just a bananas acceleration experience. Is it a race car for the road? Yeah, it kind of is, but it's a very civil one. It's just so comfortable and so actually very, very accessible. It's a bit more intimidating than GT4, but I wouldn't say by a whole lot, but it's just a shade. You do get bounced around a little bit on these bumpy straights. It's good body control, but you got to remember you are in a very, very firm track bias car. I know I keep saying it's a good road car, but at the same time you do have to be cautious. You can't barrel through these turns like a rally car or like a BMW M. The grip is just Herculean. And I will say this too, the grip is more accessible in the GT4, it's more intuitive, partly because of the mid-engine balance. You do have to work at the grip a bit more in the 911 and the GT3 RS. And I think that's really part of the appeal too, isn't it? A lot of people enjoy that 911 experience, that classic rear engine feel. And with that rear engine, it means you have to work a bit harder to balance the car, to settle the front end, get it loaded in, and then you use the traction out of the exit. And the GT4 is more point and shoot. It's a lot more intuitive and easy for people coming from, say, a front engine rear drive background to just jump in and enjoy. They've tuned the handling very, very progressively in the GT4. GT3 is of course more of a handful. You do have to do a bit more work to get it settled and pointed and then rocketing onto the straight. It's no bad thing though. It's two flavors, two different ways to accomplish the same task of going quickly and swiftly with a lot of grip and confidence. So after that brief drive, I'm sure you're wondering what I think between a GT4 and a GT3 and the RS. Well, here's a quick summary of it. I think everything that you love about the regular GT3, you will find just a bit more of that in the GT3 RS. I think to really find the differences in performance, you're going to have a high-speed circuit where the downforce on the front and rear ends are really going to come to play, that extra 25 horsepower and the extra grip from the front and rear tires. I think short of a circuit, the road driving experience, even driven enthusiastically, is going to be very, very similar. Which makes a regular GT3 kind of a good deal now, doesn't it? You get most of the experience of the RS in a regular GT3. Compared to GT4, you definitely do see a very different flavor experience. A GT4 is very capable, it's very fast, it's very grippy, but it doesn't have this powertrain. It really doesn't. I enjoy manual transmissions more, which leans me towards a GT4 because it's got a 3-pedal, which is more fun to me. But this powertrain with this lowered gearing and that really manic, revvy, screaming engine gives this car a really pure, purposeful race car character. And that's the feeling I think you really chase in a GT3. So there is a different driving experience to it, a slightly different technique. The GT3 does have better steering. I wasn't sure of it at first, but I suspected it, and now it's confirmed. The GT3 and RS have a shade more feedback in the steering and a shade more feel. So there you have it. That's my quick take on the GT3 RS and how I think it compares to the GT4. Make sure you follow me at driveopolis, where you'll get my latest updates on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure you find out more about the Faith, Hope, Love charity. Visit us on May 14th at the Diamond Rally. We're going to be there at the opening event that's open to the public at Brian Jessel BMW. Find out more at diamondrallye.com. And make sure you donate to the charity. Support a good cause. Help your fellow car guys in their quest for a better world. So thanks for watching. We'll see you again. I'm at driveopolis. Goodbye.